Have you ever set a goal for yourself, or even vowed to stop doing something? Maybe you told yourself you would stop smoking, or you told yourself that you would lose the weight, or you told yourself that you would never get back into a bad relationship like the one that you were in just a few weeks prior. And then after you go about your life for a few days or a few weeks or even a few months, you find yourself back in the same exact situation that you wanted to avoid in the first place. I think we've all been there, and that's called self-sabotage. It's also called the fear of success. And there's a simple reason why we revert back to old behavior sometimes. It's because our mind doesn't yet believe that we are worth it. It's because our subconscious doesn't believe that we deserve to live that better life. It's why someone might leave an abusive relationship and vow they'll never get themselves back into something like that. And within a few months, they find a different partner, or maybe even get back with the same partner, and they're back in that same abusive relationship again. Or they find somebody who's great for them, somebody who treats them well, somebody they have great conversations with, and all of a sudden they start self-sabotaging themselves. They start taking actions that actually hurt the relationship because a part of them doesn't believe that they're worth it. A part of them doesn't believe that they deserve it. And today I want to give you one particular strategy that will help you to forever eliminate self-sabotage from your life. Let's get right to it. I'm Brandon Eastman with BeBetterIndustries.com, and on this YouTube channel, we talk about peak performance, mindset, and achievement. Achievement towards your goals and achievement towards your dreams. So if you're into those things, hit the subscribe button below and be sure to hit the bell. That way you're notified of all new videos that we release every single Monday. And hey, why not, while you're here, hit the like button. That way this video is shown to more people who might need help to eliminate self-sabotage in their life. And when it comes to the fear of success, we've all been there in some shape, way, or form. And I remember in my life personally, when I've dealt with this, I've dealt with the fear of success in two particular areas. The first one was my health. It was my fitness. Because when I first told myself years ago that I wanted to get into shape, the first thing I said was, okay, starting tomorrow, I'm going to start eating better. And maybe for a day or two, I would start to eat healthy foods. But then I would go out to a restaurant or go to my family's house and they would have chips there. And my weakness is chips, if you don't know me. Okay, that's what I give into each time, or I've gotten better over the years. But I would start to eat the chips. And then we would go out later and get ice cream. And then the next day I would think to myself, well, I already ruined it for myself yesterday. What's the harm in doing this one more time? And that is self-sabotage. A part of my brain didn't believe that I yet deserved to be healthy or in shape. I didn't yet see clearly the end result or the outcome that I wanted. The same thing happened for me in terms of my finances. I was so in debt years ago, thousands of dollars in debt. And it came to the point where I vowed I would never be in this situation again. And I paid off one of my credit cards that had about a $2,000 balance. And after I paid off that credit card, I started to make payments towards the next one. I was following the Dave Ramsey method, the snowball method. And after I started making payments towards the next one, that first credit card that I paid off, I started to use it again. And I started to use it for gas, and I started to justify the decision. And eventually, I'm sure you can guess what happened. That credit card was once again full of debt within a month or two. I didn't yet believe that I had what it takes in order to be debt-free. And it wasn't until I read a book called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. She's also the author of the book called The Secret, where she talks about visualization, and she talks about self-image, and she talks about if you want to become a particular kind of person, then you need to first see that end result in your mind before you begin taking the actions towards it. This is why people win the lottery and they win millions and millions of dollars. And within a few years, what happens to those people? They're broke. Some of them even go bankrupt because they bought so many things and they weren't wise with their money, and now they weren't able to afford those things because they didn't feel like they deserved it. Or they simply didn't even know what to do with that kind of money. It could be a mixture of both. The thing is, if your actions aren't congruent with what you believe you deserve, you will go back to old patterns and old behaviors. There's a quote that I heard that says, "Your level of success will never surpass your level of personal development." And what that means to me is if you want to make a change and your self-image doesn't align with that change, then you'll fall back into old patterns. So let me give you the tip that will completely change the game for you when it comes to your habit of self-sabotage. This is going to end the cycle. This is going to allow you to make the change that you need to make in your life right now. I want you to determine exactly what it is you want. I want you to know what your exact outcome is. If you're someone who eats a lot of junk food and you want to be healthier, then define yourself as a healthy person. If a relationship failed and you want to find a new one because you're someone who just wants to be in a relationship, then determine the kind of person you want to be in that relationship ahead of time. Don't just start taking actions hoping to see a different result if you haven't yet set an outcome in your mind. Now, what I want you to do after you determine who it is you want to be, and after you can see a clear picture of what that person looks like and how that person behaves, then I want you to add into your morning ritual every single day where you sit down for 10 minutes. Just start with 10 minutes. Sit down and close your eyes. And you can try this right now. With your eyes closed, I want you to visualize exactly who it is you want to be. If you're now a non-smoker, then I want you to visualize what your life as a non-smoker looks like. If it was food that you struggled with, I want you to visualize yourself the way that you want to look. Visualize the actions that you take. Visualize yourself eating healthy foods, making healthy choices. Plan in advance to succeed, because self-sabotage is the lack of planning in advance for what you want, or even worse, planning in advance what you don't want, planning in advance to smoke another cigarette, to eat the junk food, to use the credit card. Plan instead to succeed in the future. So while you're closing your eyes for the 10 minutes every single morning, I want you to see the person that you want to become. See the actions that you'd be taking. See the way that your life looks in your mind's eye now that you've acquired this new habit, now that you've acquired this new lifestyle. Again, if your subconscious mind doesn't believe that you are the new version of you, it will immediately revert back to the old behavior or the old patterns. And what's going to happen is after a few days to a week, and especially after 28 to 30 days, you are going to feel differently. You are going to automatically take the actions that you want to take. Because the thing is, your brain can't tell the difference between something that you've imagined and something that is real. So when you're creating that picture in your mind of the way that you want your life to look and the actions that you're now taking to live that life, your brain is saying to itself, okay, this is the new me. This is what I deserve now. This is the video that I'm continuously seeing in my theater of imagination. So again, sit down every single morning and add to your morning routine you sitting there for 10 minutes with your eyes closed, visualizing the you that you want to be. Something that helps some people with this process is when your eyes are closed, maybe even see a movie theater screen in front of you where you're watching all the events unfold, where you're seeing yourself in the third person with the actions that you want to take that will lead you to the person that you want to become. You see, if you want to become a non-smoker, or if you want to be a healthier eater, or even if you want to start waking up earlier, or find a relationship that finally works for you, you have to see that in your mind before it takes place in the real world. That's how you turn the invisible into the visible. See it here first, and once you see it in your mind's eye, it will take place in the physical world. In the first link in the description, click that link. I want to send you a free copy of my ebook, Be Extraordinary, Your Guide to Self-Mastery. This will help you further take the actions that you need to take in order to live an extraordinary life. If you have other tips that have helped you to create a more empowering self-image and that has helped you to eliminate self-sabotage in your life, post them in the comments. Post any questions you have in the comments as well. And while you're down there, go ahead and again, hit the like button. That way this video is shown to more people if this has helped you. And then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you see every video that I release every Monday around peak performance. And until we speak next time, be better.